We take simple errands for granted. We figure that we will make a quick run to a destination at night and nothing will happen. You figure that the entire outing will take no more than a few minutes. However, you never make it home, and sadly, you become yet another entry into the overall statistics of people who have disappeared. Sadly, we are about to hear one such case. My name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Welcome to another installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. In this installment, we will be hearing the case of Matthew Chase. This case first aired on the December 21st, 1988 episode of Unsolved Mysteries. I often find myself wondering about this case. This is truly a prime example of what would have happened if we were just a little bit more patient. If Matthew Chase decided to wait till the following morning to either deposit or cash his check, how would life have turned out differently for him? I'm sorry to say, but sadly we will never know. Up next, it is the case information. Okay, time for the case information. Person in question, his name was Matthew Marshall Chase. He went by the name Matt. Matt was born on April 10th, 1966. The age Matt was when he went missing was 22 years old. If Matthew was still alive at this point, he would have been 58 years old. Location of the incident was Los Angeles, California, in the United States of America. This case was classified as a missing persons case. Let's see here. Matthew was missing since June 8th, 1988. Case outcome, I'm sad to say, but Matthew was murdered. The date of update when we found out that he was murdered was September 17th, 1988. If you would actually like to see this case on YouTube, you can find it in Season 1, Episode 12 of Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack. And the original air date for this case was December 21st, 1988. I'll be honest. Maybe I'm just being a cynical asshole, I guess you could say. But I can't help but think that it's a real kind of a punch to the gut that they decided to air this case just 4 days before Christmas. 4 days before Christmas. What is a family is already dealing with the fact that their loved one was taken from them. Not only was it taken from them, but when they go to turn on TV just to try to escape reality, they may click on Unsolved Mysteries and hear of the update that their child was murdered just 4 days, that they learned about, that their child was murdered just 4 days before Christmas. I could not believe that. I cannot believe that. To me, that's like, ugh. It's like, you guys couldn't have waited until the new year. I'm sure the family was already aware that their child was murdered. The police probably let them know. Just to have a TV show 4 days before Christmas come on air and go, yeah, we learned that Matthew Chase, he was murdered. He was murdered, like, oh God, to me that was just like, ugh, bad timing. I'm sorry. I like Robert Stack. I love Unsolved Mysteries, but you're telling me you could not have waited until the holidays were over to basically kind of just reopen those wounds? It's like, oh, dude, bad timing. I'm sorry. It was bad timing, But that is it. When I return, I will be back with the case viewing, so stay tuned and I'll be right back.
Good evening from the San Jose News Channel. A group calling itself the Organization of Islamic Dawn announced today that it will free American hostage Frank Reed within 48 hours. After successfully deploying the Hubble Space Telescope, the Space Shuttle Discovery returned to Earth today in a picture-perfect landing in the California desert. And Santa Clara County health officials declare war on the measles today, taking vaccinations to the people at 2 clinics.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. This is the portion of the video where I go to the Unsolved Mysteries wiki and we learn about the case. Okay, so let's switch over. There we go. Okay, so like I said, I go to the Unsolved Mysteries wiki case, and basically the whole purpose of this series is just to basically, read to everybody the case. I'll give you my thoughts and see if there's been any more of an update besides what we already know. Because sometimes we'll get an update, and then maybe a decade will pass, and then we get another update like regarding people who were involved in the case or whatnot. So let's actually take a look at that, shall we? So like before, I'll start with the case information. So real name was Matthew Marshall Chase. He went by Matt. Location was Los Angeles, California. The date was June 8th, 1988. His occupation was unrevealed. Date of birth was April 10th, 1966. His height was 6'2". God, this guy was a giant. Holy hell. I'm like 5'8.5". So yeah, this 6'2", that sounds tall to me. Let's see here. Weight was 150 pounds. He was single. Characteristics was he was a Caucasian male with brown hair, brown eyes. He had a small tattoo of a dollar sign behind his right ear. I've seen people with a dollar sign tattoo behind their ear. I'm wondering if it means something. If there's like a meaning to it, a symbolic meaning or something. Okay, so now this is a slightly lengthy read. So what I may do is I may take a break every now and then and take a drink of water. Okay, so let's get to this, shall we? First, let's zoom in. There we go. I hope you guys should be able to read that. Close that out. Okay. Details. Well, let's do this. Every day, thousands of people do business with their banks using an automated teller machine, or ATM. It has become a normal part of our life. However, anyone standing alone in front of a bank at midnight withdrawing cash from an automated teller would naturally feel apprehensive. That's why I never go to the bank at night. Hell, I don't really even go to the bank that much anymore. The only time I ever go to the bank is to get money for the washer machine, because I have on-site laundry room and it requires quarters and everything. So that's the only time I've ever really gone to the bank in like the last 5 years, because everything I deal with is automatically deposited or withdrawn from my account. So yeah, I honestly think that I honestly think that banks in the next 30, 40 years, they may become somewhat obsolete, with the exception of people to fill the ATMs, or maybe having one or two workers to help bank members process loans and stuff, But I really don't think that banks, as we know it now, are going to be around in 30, 40, 50 years. It's hard not to nervously look over your shoulder as you wait for the computer to take care of your financial business. At midnight on June 8th, 1988, a young man in Los Angeles, California visited one of these machines. What happened to him suggests our fears might be more real than imaginary. See that? Oh God, I am I'm the type of person that likes to have space. So when I am like at a grocery store, like after I get off work and I'm buying like a gallon of milk and I'm using my debit card or whatever, I go to swipe that card and then I go to put in the code. If somebody's like standing right next to me, I'll look at them like, hey, do you fucking mind? This isn't North Korea, buddy. Move over. I prefer my space, and if they're fucking invading my space, I'll tell them to move their fucking ass. Okay, see here. At around 11:45 p.m. on June 8th, 22-year-old Matt Chase returned home from dinner with his roommate Teresa Dahl. When they got inside, he remembered he had to deposit his paycheck. She lent him her car, a red two-door 1983 Volkswagen GTI, and asked if he could pick up some cat food on the way home. He had known her and her brother Steve since childhood. They all moved to Los Angeles from Medford, Oregon. That night, when Matt left their house, he took his only bank card with him. He left his wallet at home. According to Teresa, it should have taken Matt between 10 and 15 minutes to run the errand. The bank was about 2 blocks from their home. Normally, he walked to the bank, but on that night, he took her car. It kind of reminds me, I will be honest, there are times that I like to go out, go out at night and like walk to the grocery store or whatnot. I actually live like less than a block from a grocery store, so it's actually pretty nice, especially on a summer evening. Imagine walking, you're leaving the apartment at about say 10 or 11 at night and walk into the grocery store just before they close. They close like at midnight, if I remember correctly. But I'll walk over there when it's dark. It's a nice warm evening. I go get a bottle of water or something. I just do it to get like some exercise, She figured that 15 minutes would have been a sufficient amount of time. It is known that Matt did arrive at the ATM that night, but he never returned home. His friends and family are still searching for him. The next morning, when Matt still had not come home, Steve and Teresa called the police. Steve then called the bank and, using Matt's social security number, convinced him that it was Matt calling. Steve and Teresa wanted to find out if he had used his bank card the night before. The bank said he had several times. Steve and Teresa called the police again. Detective Scott Burkhat realized that Matt's case was not going to be a normal one. It would be one that would require in-depth investigation. He also figured that it may not turn out to be a good case, and that foul play may be involved. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I maybe it's just me. I'm not a police officer, but if it was me, I would treat every case that is presented to me as important. It's like that's how I would always look at it. I would want the people who I'm trying to help to feel like I am doing everything in my ability to make sure that they get all the help possible. When detectives reviewed the bank records, they discovered Matt had made a successful deposit of his paycheck and received cash back. He then returned to the same branch approximately 30 minutes later and attempted to withdraw $280, which was over the amount he could receive per day. Now, this is something that just upsets me. This is just something that upsets me. Let me do this. Here, hold on. Okay, there. This is just something that upsets me. It's like, if you deposit your money, and I understand, like, when it comes to, like, say, the check portion that you deposit, that they have to make sure that it's all legitimate. But if you have actual money in your account, you should be able to withdraw however much you want. There should not be a daily limit. As long as you have the funds in your account, which the machine checks your account because it's withdrawing the money, you should be able to get as much out as you want. I dislike this idea of there being like an amount you can receive per day. It fucking drives me nuts. It drives me goddamn nuts. And that's actually why I do a lot of my banking now just online. A few years ago, I went to withdraw money to pay rent for my apartment here. And the machine would not let me take out the full amount. It literally restricted me like at $500. I ended up having to go into the bank and get the rest of the amount to make up the rent. You know, it's like really. And the thing is, you could literally check your balance. You could press, balance, and it would spit out a little piece of paper that says how much you have in your account. I had more than enough, and yet it was still kind of restricting me. It's like I have the amount. Just give me what I fucking need. Like it's your money. Why can't you access your money if you need it? Like. And people say, that they don't trust banks. Motherfucker, this is why they don't trust banks. This was something that he would have known. Detectives theorized that either he was being forced to attempt to withdraw the amounts or he was signaling to the bank and computer for help. That night, 2 more attempts were made to withdraw cash. The first was $200. It was refused because of insufficient funds. Okay, I can understand that. If he did not have enough funds in hold on, can I? Wherever. Get rid of that shit there. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, you motherfucker. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Oh. There it is. As I was saying though, if you don't have the funds, I can understand it not being permitted, but when you have money in your account, it should not say that you cannot withdraw. It's going past the limit. No, there should be no limit. It's your fucking money. You want your money. You should be able to get your money out. It's like buying. To me, the way I view it, it's like buying a gallon of milk. You buy a gallon of milk. You have that milk in your fridge, and you have a nice glass of milk for breakfast. You then go to get another glass of milk because you're still thirsty, and then you go to open it up, and a little pop up appears on like say an LED appears on the milk carton. It says, "Oops, sorry, you already removed 8 ounces of milk. No more milk for today." It's like what the fuck? It's my milk. I fucking paid for you. If I wanted to drink 8 ounces for one morning, I'll drink 8 ounces for one morning. If I want to drink the entire fucking container, let me drink the entire container. I bought the motherfucker. Okay, anyway. Then, a minute later, $100 was requested. Again, as Matt's paycheck had not posted, this amount was also refused. 11 minutes later, the card was used at another branch in a different neighborhood. Again, the withdrawals were unsuccessful. This time, a hidden camera took photographs of Matt. A strange man appeared in them, standing next to his shoulder. According to surveillance cameras at the branch, the man standing next to Matt was somewhat shorter, somewhat stockier, and overall, he should not have been in the photograph. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying when I go to the grocery store after work. I like my fucking privacy. If I'm having to swipe my card and then put in my PIN number, by the way, my PIN number is not 1234. By the way, just so everybody knows, it's not 1234. If I'm putting in my fucking number, I don't want somebody saying, right, hey, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? I would literally say, get the fuck back or you're going to get a broken nose. There's no reason that a person should be that fucking close to you when you're putting in your information. Okay. Under normal circumstances, the person would not let someone stand that close to them while they are using an ATM because the other person could see their PIN number. No shit. Police suspect that Matt may have been abducted by the man in the photograph while he was making his first transactions. Then, in an attempt to call for help, Matt may have deliberately entered erroneous amounts, hoping to attract attention. Over the next day and a half, there were 5 more withdrawal attempts. By this time, his paycheck had cleared, so $400 was paid out from his account. Finally, the card was confiscated by the machine. Stephen Priest, I was about to say Stephen Parisa, but like Steve and Teresa had put a freeze on the card. They figured if they can get the card back, they could find out what bank it was used at and possibly find out where Matt and his abductors were. They also hoped that the police would be able to get fingerprints off the card. When it was dusted for prints, none were found. Police believe that either the card was wiped clean or that Matt's abductor used gloves. Okay. Matt's parents came down from Oregon to search for him and the car he drove to the bank that night. At first, they were hopeful that they would happen upon the car somewhere close to where Matt lived. However, after several nights of searching, they became very frustrated. They noted that Los Angeles can be dangerous at night, and they had seen some frightening things while there. This made them feel that it was a good chance that something bad had happened or bad happened to him. Police believed that Matt may have been injured in a mugging and was walking the streets with amnesia. Steve and Teresa distributed Matt's picture to the Midnight Mission, a local rescue mission. Okay, hold on. I'm actually curious. Is that still there? Hold on. I'm going to mark this right here. That way we can come back to that. Now, the name was the Midnight Mission. Midnight Mission, Los Angeles. Is it still there? Okay, let's go to maps.google.com. Okay. Let's see here. Midnight Mission, Los Angeles. Now, I'm not sure if this is exactly the same location, but it's in Los Angeles. Is it? Looks like this could be it. Wow. Geez, it seems like this area's seen better days. I'm trying to see if there's like a name or something. That way it would. No loitering. I'm not trying to laugh. It's just it's kind of sad that you literally have a sign that says no loitering, and look, and it's like, okay, wait, is there a sign? I was hoping that there'd be like Donna and John Crane Center. It doesn't say. Wait, is this it? Central City Community Church. Hold on. We got a little thing here. The Midnight Mission. Okay, so apparently this is it right here. What's around this corner here? Oh my gosh, it is. Yep, okay, here it is. Midnight Mission. Jeez. Okay, I'm just curious. How far back does this go? Oh wow, this actually goes all the way to August 2007. Let's see. Is this the same location? Yep. Well, it isn't as bad as it was in 2024. There's But it looks like we may have found the midnight mission that they went to. I'm wondering how many locations are there. Okay, midnight mission. The midnight mission, Los Angeles. I think there's just that one. Yeah, it looks like there's just that one. Yep. So it looks like we may have located the midnight mission that was mentioned in the case here. So let's continue on, shall we? Hold on. Is it not working? Okay, that's weird. Hold on, let me go back to let me try it this way. There you go. Let's see here. Some of the volunteers there recognized him from his driver's license picture. They said that he had been in there several times to eat. They described him as tall, thin, and lanky, which matched his description perfectly. At that point, Teresa became very hopeful that Matt was alive. Take a quick drink. Let's see here. On June 27th, almost 3 weeks after Matt's disappearance, the car he had been driving was finally found by the police, abandoned close to where he had vanished. When the car was found, officers ran it through the SVS system. I don't know what that is, but it's probably possibly like a cop system that searches for like missing vehicles or whatnot, and it indicated that it was associated with a missing person. Detective Burkhart asked for the car to be held so it could be checked for latent fingerprints. The criminalist dusted for prints and looked at it for other evidence of a crime. However, it was completely void of fingerprints. This was very unusual, as many people normally leave at least some prints while driving throughout the day. I do. Police did find one clue in the car, a blue bandana. It did not belong to either Matt or Teresa, and investigators believe it may have been left by Matt's abductors. His parents fear that something bad happened to him, but they hope that he is alive and all right somewhere. Teresa also hopes and believes that he is still alive. She said that she will continue the search for him until he is found. The pictures taken by the bank camera are mute testimony that something sinister may have happened to Matt on his midnight trip to the ATM. His friends and family have not given up hope. They want to know what happened on that June night. Oh, jeez. Suspects. 2 composites were made of the abductor based on the computer enhancements of bank photographs. The abductor was described as somewhat shorter and somewhat stockier than Matt. A blue bandana was found in Matt's car. It had the following letters written on it: ES, PBS, CLS. It suggested that it may have fallen he may have fallen to gang members. It could have. Okay, let's hear some. Here are the some photos, by the way. So we have composite number 1, composite number 2 of the suspect. Here is the bandana, ESPBS CLS. We have the bank surveillance photo, which you really can't see that much. The person is right here that they're talking about, the person in question. Oh, you can't see my mouse. It's the one on the lower corner right there. And then we have several of these enhanced photographs. Extra notes. This case first aired on the December 21st, 1988 episode. It was updated on the April 26th, 1989 episode. According to TV Guide, it was originally scheduled to air on the November 23rd, 1988 episode, but it was postponed. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm not trying to sound like I'm making a joke out of it, because I'm not. But I think the family found out from detectives what happened to their son just before the holidays. So to me, this is like you could not wait until, like, say, early February or late January. You literally had to wait. They were originally anticipating it being on the 23rd, which is just a couple days before Thanksgiving. You already have a family who is dealing with their loved one being murdered. And what's the first thing you plan on doing? Oh, we're going to air your son's case, where we're going to possibly talk about him being murdered. We're planning on doing this 2 days before Thanksgiving. Wait, that may be a little bit insensitive. You're still healing. Okay, we're going to delay it. We're going to delay it. How about 4 days before Christmas? Would that be okay? Really, you. And people say I'm an emotionless asshole. Holy shit. Ugh. A similar case involving an abduction from an ATM was Gretchen Buford. Results solved. On September 17, 1988, 3 months after Matt disappeared, his remains were discovered in a ravine nearby Pasadena. However, Los Angeles Coroner's Office, the Los Angeles Coroner's Office, was unable to positively identify him until March 29th, 1989. Okay, so I was wrong. I originally saw this date, and it said solved, and then it had the date here. So I was going off of the idea that he was identified on this date, and they told the family shortly after. So I was wrong. And I apologize. So until March 29, 1989, the identification was delayed by the difficulty of tracking down dental records. The cause of death was a gunshot wound. Detectives estimated that he had been in the canyon since the last week in June to September 1988, when he was located. It is believed that he was killed shortly after he disappeared. The case was then classified as a robbery homicide. Matt's father, Frank, remained in regular contact with detectives over the years and kept his own investigation notes on the case. Sadly, on August 31st, 2007, he passed away at the age of 67. After his death, Matt's sister, Christina, took over. In 2018, detectives told her that his case had been cleared. They determined that his killer was 20-year-old. Hold on. Was 20-year-old suspected gang member David Bear Meza. Ironically, Meza himself was shot and killed by a drive-by shooting on the street corner in the Rampart area on the night of June 10th, 1988, less than 2 days after Matt vanished. It is believed that Meza was killed by other gang members. You live by the sword, you die by the sword, I guess. Isn't that the right saying that everybody uses? Wow, holy shit. Karma comes back hard, doesn't it? When interviewed by police, Mez's girlfriend identified him as the man seen in the bank surveillance photographs. Other circumstantial evidence also linked him to the crime. Although the possibility of accomplices cannot be dismissed, the case is considered closed since the main perpetrator is deceased. Wow. A lot there to take in. So basically, there is forms of karma that I actually like. One form of karma I like is when, say, somebody kills a loved one, and then within 48 hours, that piece of shit gets shot. Oh, shit. It's like the circle of life. predator kills innocent person. That predator gets killed by another predator, and odds are that predator gets killed by an even bigger predator. Uh, okay, so let's actually go over to the find a grave because I already had it preloaded and everything. So to those who do not know, I go to the find a grave if there is one, and basically it tells us about a little bit about the person. Matthew Marshall Matt Chase. Date of birth was April 10th, 1966 in Medford, Jackson County, Oregon, USA. Date of death was June 9th, 1988. He was sadly age 22. Oh my god. I am almost double his age. Holy shit. Ah, god. The sad thing is, I'm almost double his age, but when he passed away, I wasn't even 7 years old yet. Sometimes I go to this website, and it gives me a little bit of, it's like a little bit of a shock, you know? Because you don't really grasp the numbers until you start seeing them and everything. The location of death was Pasadena, Los Angeles County, California, USA. He was buried at Wallowa Cemetery in Walla Walla County, Oregon, USA. Plot is original section lot 10, grave 7. Okay, here are some photos. Here we have a photo of Matt. And then goddamn advertisements. And then the tombstone basically reads, in loving memory, Matthew M. Chase, April 10th, 1966, June 9th, 1988. Okay, and then let's do this. Let's check out this. He really doesn't have that much in the way of family members. He has his father, Frank Burt Chase, 1939 to 2007. And then his mom, Susan Jean Kisman Chase, 1940 to 2024. He recently just passed away. But yeah, so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a sad outcome to a person who didn't mean harm to anyone. And it kind of goes back to what I originally mentioned. It's like, if he decided to just wait until morning, the following morning, to deposit or cash his check, how would life have turned out differently for him? Sadly, we will never know. This is just one of those examples of how sometimes fate can be a cruel bitch, you know. But when I return after these commercials, it will be my final thoughts, so stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does? Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Okay, everybody, welcome back. It is now time for my final thoughts, and this is sadly a case of what could have happened if things were different. Basically, I like to think that the whole catalyst for what ended up happening to Matthew was that check. If he did not have that, if that check was not there, Matthew would not have had to leave at midnight, and by not leaving at midnight, he would not put himself at risk of being attacked. But sadly, the die has been cast. Matthew was taken from us, and ultimately, nothing we can do can really bring him back. All we can do is try to remember the good person that he was. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know the guy, but I'm sure there are still people out there who remember him, and that's why I like to do these cases. Even though this case is solved, it never hurts to keep the memory of people alive, because I'm pretty sure that that's how they would like. They would like to at least be remembered, you know? And I think that's the best. That's what we can do, you know? But sadly, you know, it sometimes things just happen and we don't like it, but ultimately that's what happens, you know. If there is a bright side to take out of all this, it's the fact that the person who killed Matthew was himself killed by the same type of violence that he likes to inflict upon people himself, you know. So I can't think of any better form of karma than that, you know. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Next time on Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries, we have the case of Mary Lou Jerry, or is it Mary Lou Jerry? I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce her last name, but Mary Lou, she was found dead in her residence, and the popular belief is that her husband, Stephen Jerry, may have done something to his wife. Either he did something to his wife, or he knows exactly, you know, the situation that led up to her death. But he's claiming innocence. Is he innocent? That's for you to decide. And basically, I'm just kind of like your little guide through the limitless warehouse of unsolved mysteries. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you next time. As always, if you like what you watched, feel free to click that subscribe button, click the follow button if you're on Facebook, and I will see you next time. My name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Wishing you all a great day. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out.
I'm Rob Flatabo. More news tonight at 11.